What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we finally got the full announcement of the brand new Sugo-Fest coming to One Piece Treasure Cruise Global, which is going to be the Treasure Sugo-Fest. So this is the video that I basically made a couple of days ago, or yesterday, about Legend Franky was going to be coming to One Piece Treasure Cruise Global. We knew that was happening, we just didn't really know when, and we now have a full answer for that. He will be arriving on One Piece Treasure Cruise Global on the 14th of June at 1900 PST. So that's gonna be cool. We're getting a brand new Sugo-Fest straight after the end of the limited rare recruit Kobe banner. So this is pretty much what we suspected, but now we have full confirmation that this is happening. So as you can see on the banner, we've got Franky and then we've got Blackbeard and Thatch. Those two characters are going to be the treasure mode rare recruit units that are going to be the high point boosters for the treasure map Ace. So we'll go through all the information in this video pertaining to this Sugo-Fest and also counting whether or not you should be pulling or not. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. So first of all, from June 14th, 1900 PST, all the way to June 24th. So it's a 10-day Sugo-Fest. So the Treasure Sugo-Fest is here. The Sugo-Fest features rate boost for characters who will get lots of treasure points, of course, from battles in the treasure map, as well as characters that are able to be limit broken. What's more, in the Sugo-Fest, all wanted posters are guaranteed to be 4-star or better. So straight away, like the regular treasure map Sugo-Fest that we always have, it's going to be an all-gold Sugo-Fest, which is great. I really enjoy that. Franky appears as a voiced Sugo-Fest exclusive character. Check out his new Captain Action docking. So if you guys haven't seen the full information about what his Captain Action actually does, make sure to check out the video that I made yesterday. It'll be a card up on the side of the screen you guys can go ahead and click on. It is a very detailed video giving you guys all the information you need to understand how this character's Captain Action actually works. So once you do docking, you'll be able to, hit with different enemies doing different specific abilities. You get damage reduction by 38%, which is great. So yeah, make sure to go ahead and if you do pull Franky, you're going to have a really good time in this treasure map. That's going to be good because he's going to be the best legend to take on treasure map Ace with. So make sure if you guys do get him, make sure to farm up treasure map Ace a lot because he'll make it very, very easy for you. Additionally, new Blackbeard and Thatch have arrived. These new versions of Blackbeard and Thatch will join at max level with the following unlocked powers with Despair, Bind Resistance, Auto Heal, and Charge Special. So like all other treasure mode rare recruit units, when they come out on global, of course, they get max sockets and max level, which is good. I really enjoy that. So when you do pull them, you can use them straight away. So we'll actually go into a little bit more detail pertaining which characters are available at which specific time. The new 4-star Blackbeard and Thatch will not have Charge Special unlocked due to them only having 3 power slots. So that means that they'll only have Bind Resistance, Despair Resistance, and Auto Heal. Characters other than the new Blackbeard and Thatch will join your crew at level 5 without any unlocked powers, so only Blackbeard and Thatch will become at max level with all the unlocked powers and stuff like that. Additionally, all new characters will be trusty characters in an upcoming treasure map event in June. So Franky, Thatch, and Blackbeard are all going to be trusty characters. We already knew that. For more information on trusty characters, please check the treasure map notice, of course. The effects of trusty characters will differ depending on the treasure map event. And the new Blackbeard and Thatch will no longer be available at Rare Recruit after June 24th, 1900 PST time. However, they may become available again at a later date. The boost effect for treasure points earned only applies to the post-evolution versions of the characters. Characters who can super evolve will have this effect only applied to their super evolution. So if there is a super evolution unit that is a trusty character, it only pertains to their super evolution, not the original 6-star version of that unit. There is something here at the end though that does state, however, the new Blackbeard and the new Thatch will have this boost applied to both their pre- and post-evolution forms. This actually means that if you pull 2 copies of Blackbeard, hypothetically you pull 2 Blackbeards, one is a 4-star and one is a 5-star, or you pull 2 4-stars, you can have a 4-star and a 5-star unit. Both of them will give you massive amounts of treasure mode points. That's pretty interesting. It means that you can run, different units on different teams. That's really interesting. I'm not really too sure how that really works because we haven't had that specific thing work before. Because I'm not too sure if, like, on one team you can have an unevolved set of the units, and then on another team you can have the evolved versions. Does you using one of these teams with an unevolved version of the character mean that you can't use the other version of the unit because it's in the same evolution line? I mean, we saw with the last treasure map with the 5+ Straw Hats and the regular Straw Hats, I'm pretty sure if you use like Gear 2 Luffy in a team, you could use 5+ Luffy in another team. It's really interesting. I'm not really 100% sure how that works, but if that's the case, where you can run a 4-star version of the unit in one team and then the 5-star unit in another team, that's really interesting, and it really does aid, once again, you know, the pay-to-play player who is going to be doing pulls on this Sugo-Fest, because if you do pull multiple copies of this character, you do get a better advantage when taking on this treasure map. You'll gain points a lot more quickly. So yeah, I really don't like this. I don't like the fact that if you do have both versions of the treasure mode unit, you get even more points. I feel like that's even more of a cash grab, but yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of this personally. I don't think it's a very, very good idea at all. But actually getting into the information about the Sugo-Fest and how it's going to be structured. So it says that it's going to be split into 3 parts, part 1, part 2, part 3, and with the rate boosted characters changing in each individual part. Be sure to check which day that you want to be pulling on for different rate up characters, of course. So part 1 is going to be from the 14th of June all the way to the 18th of June, each starting and ending at 1900 PST. Part 2 is going to be from the 18th to the 21st, and then part 3 is going to be from the 21st until the 24th of June. So you get a decent amount of time in each of these parts, depending on which part you want to be pulling on, depending on the rate ups. You want to make sure you're pulling on the correct part, to get the right characters, of course. So moving on, with part 1, when you do the second multi-pull on part 1, you are guaranteed to get the 5-star version of the Rare Recruit Thatch character. So this character is going to be the 1.5 times point booster character. I don't actually remember what he actually does. So I might put it up on the side of the screen so you guys can go ahead and have a read and see what he does. I'm not really too sure how good he is. I remember what Blackbeard does. Blackbeard is a unit that's kind of like Raid Sabo kind of effect. Blackbeard's a very, very interesting one. Anyways, moving on with part 1. So yeah, second multi-pull, you get guaranteed 5-star Thatch. So in those 2 multi-pulls, if you do pull a 4-star Thatch, you want to be keeping that because it's going to be a boosted character as well. So yeah, make sure to go ahead and keep that if you do end up pulling that. Also on part 1, the 3rd and the 6th multi-pull is just guaranteed to be a red poster. No specific rate ups or anything with that. It's just guaranteed to be a red. Randomly can be any single red in the game. Moving on though, the 9th multi-pull is going to be a guaranteed red, with the last poster being a higher chance to get specific red characters. Now, honestly, this specific thing kind of annoys me. I think it should be guaranteed to be one of these characters, not just a higher rate boost, because we've seen multiple times where people do 9 multis on the treasure map Sugo-Fest. Most of the time it's never one of these characters, but anyways, we'll see how the rates really determine this, because that's going to be very interesting to see. So with this, we've got Franky, Lucy, Judge, Striker Law, Magellan, Akainu, Bato, and Aokiji. All of these characters will be high rate boosted on the 11th poster of the 9th multi-pull on part number 1. Moving on to the next part, so with part 2 and 3, Blackbeard, both the pre and post evolution versions of himself, will be significantly rate boosted. So this is going to be interesting to see when the rates actually come out for this Sugo-Fest, what the actual rate for the Blackbeard will be on part 1 compared to part 2, and then we can actually determine what a significant rate boost actually is, because up until now we don't really know what a significant rate boost means. So now we're going to actually get full confirmation of how significantly rate boosted this character is going to be in comparison to part 1 into parts 2 and 3. So yeah, high rate boost to get him on parts 2 and 3. On part 1 you can still pull him, but it's a very, very low chance to actually get that character. Moving on though, part number 2 now. This does not include part 3 or part 2. The 3rd and 6th pulls are guaranteed to be just a regular red poster. On the 9th multi-pull, guaranteed to be a red with higher rate boost like part 1. This time it's Franky, V2 Rayleigh, Boa Hancock V2, Rob Lucci V2, Shirahoshi, Fujitora version 1. You got Portgas the Ace and the version 1 Rob Lucci. So yeah, I think this part isn't very good. I mean, Rayleigh and Franky, those are really ones that you want to get. V2 Lucci and V2 Bowl, obviously they were a free legend selection. But I do think the part 1 is kind of better, because you got Franky, Lucy, and Judge. Those 3 in particular are pretty goddamn good. Whereas this one, you just got Rayleigh and Franky. So, part 2 honestly doesn't seem as good. There's also different rare recruit rate ups on each of these days as well. So if there are rare recruits that you really want to get, that will also, be put into the consideration of whether or not you should be pulling or not. Moving on to part number 3 though. So part number 3, the 3rd and 6th is guaranteed to be a regular red. And then on the 9th multi-pull, like usual, it's going to be a red poster with a higher rate to get another character out of this pool. So Franky, Doflamingo version 2, who's awesome, and then V2 Fujitora, Cat Viper, Marshall D. Teach Blackbeard, and Hody Jones version 1 lore, as well as Usopp. So, I mean, Franky, Dofi, and Fujitora, those three really good. I think part 2, honestly, in terms of the legend rate boost, part 2 seems like the worst considering of the free legend selection that we just got given. Part 1 and part 3 are actually pretty decent in terms of legend rate ups, but anyways, those are just the rate ups for and like the actual structure of the Sugo-Fest. But now we're actually going to get into the actual rate ups for each of these parts. So with part 1, those the ones that were actually rate boosted on the 9th multi-pull are just regularly rate boosted throughout part 1 as well. So you get a little bit of a higher chance to pull these characters. And then we go on to the rare recruits. So for part 1, the new Thatch and the new Blackbeard are also pullable, of course. So they're going to be available. But remember, Thatch is going to be guaranteed on the 2nd. Blackbeard doesn't have a very, very high rate up at all. Next, you've got the new Treble, the new Senor Pink, the new Pika, Dex Rebecca, Strength Kiros, Yonji and Reiju. You've got Hyozo, Brook, Dagama, Suleiman, the old Kiros as well. You have the 3-2 Yuzora and also Flower Sword Vista. These are all of the rare recruits boosted on part 1 of the Sugo-Fest. Moving on to part 2 rate ups now, you've also got all of these characters that are the rated up legends for the 9th multi-pull on part 2. They are going to be rate boosted throughout the whole Sugo-Fest. You got Ace, both versions of Lucci, Fujitora version 1, Shirahoshi, and then V2 Rayleigh and Franky, of course. Moving on to the rare recruit rate ups, you've got the new Thatch and Blackbeard. Blackbeard significantly rate boosted. On part 2 and 3, Thatch is not guaranteed on the 2nd multi, but you can still pull him wherever along. So yeah, you can also pull him there. You've got the new Sugar, you've got Niji and Ichiji, you've got Perona, Dosun, Daruma, Brook, Dellinger, Lao G, Jabra, Beppo, Jozu, Marco, and Redhead Shanks, the original Sai rare recruit. Honestly, this part doesn't seem that great aside from Niji and Ichiji. The Sugar's pretty good as well, but the rest of them are pretty old and not that used that often. So yeah, part 2 in terms of legend rate ups and rare recruit rate ups, part 2 actually seems like the worst out of all of them in my personal opinion. And then moving on right now to the part 3 rate ups. So with part 3, obviously all of these legends that we talked about earlier are going to be rated up. Franky, V2 Dofi, V2 Fujitora, Cat Viper, Usopp, Hody Jones, Blackbeard, and version 1 Trafalgar Law. Version 1 Trafalgar Law might be getting his 6+ very, very soon. Hopefully it does come soon, because he's got a very, very good 6+. And he also has a limit break as well, so just partners really well. I really hope we get his 6+ very soon. If not next month, it should be the month after that, so make sure to look forward to that one. Moving on to the rare recruit rate ups though, we've got the, obviously, Thatch and Blackbeard, of course. Remember, Blackbeard's significantly rate boosted, Thatch is not guaranteed, but you can still pull him. You've got access to the new Pika, Viola from the Fujitora batch, Bellamy also as well, Pedro, Zio, Onigumo, Lafitte, Bastille, Haruta, the Strongworld Zora, for some reason, rated up. A lot of people are going to be pulling him. The old Treble, Caesar, Kaku, and the old Dex Law. So, I mean, the rare recruits, honestly, I think part 1 has the best rare recruit rate ups in my personal opinion. It has a lot of the new Doflamingo batch, which if you didn't pull on, it's a good opportunity to get some of them. Because the only one here is Pika, and the only one in the other one is Sugar, I believe. So yeah, I think you want to be pulling on, if you want to get just the Dofi batch, you want to be going on part 1. But, you know, it really depends on what kind of units you're missing on your account, and that's what you should be pulling for. And that's just kind of it. There's no additional rewards after the 9th 10+1 rare recruit pool, and the 10+ rare recruit pool counter will reset June 18th and June 21st. So when it goes from part 1 into part 2 and then part 2 into part 3, it will actually reset the counter. So you can't do like 8 multis in part 1 and then do the 9th multi in part 2. It does not work like that. You can only do each of the multi-pulls in succession on each part, and that they do not carry over between parts. So make sure, if you are going to a guaranteed multi-pull at any time, make sure to do it before the actual timer clicks over to the next part. Otherwise you will lose your counter and you will not get a guaranteed legend at that point. But that's kind of my overview of this Sugo-Fest. So should you be pulling on this Sugo-Fest? Now, if you're a free-to-play player, 100% no, you should never be pulling on Treasure Map Sugo-Fest unless it's a 2x legend rate Sugo-Fest. That's legitimately what I always suggest to free-to-play players. If it's gold only and at least 2x legend rate or higher, you know, we've seen 3x legend rate on global before, that's the only times you should be pulling. You should never be pulling outside of that if you are a free-to-play player. However, if you are the type of player who does spend a little bit of cash here or there on the game, you know, you're a pretty casual player with the game, but you do like to spend a little bit of money, I honestly wouldn't really recommend spending it on this Sugo-Fest. I just don't think this Sugo-Fest is that great. Franky is a fun legend. He is definitely not one of the top tier legends though. I would highly suggest saving your gems for the next batch of rare recruit characters coming to One Piece Treasure Cruise Global. If you guys know the timeline of releases for Global, you guys would know that the next batch to release should be the Valentine's batch with Robin, Legend, and all of the waifus in the batch. Those units are so goddamn good. I think that in my opinion, I legitimately think that Robin's rare recruit batch is the best batch in the entire game released thus far. Those units are so powerful, used on so many teams, helps you clear so much content in the future, and that is the one that you should be waiting to pull on. Right here, right now, Franky, he's kind of cool, but you can get the opportunity to pull him on the Robin Sugo as well. I would hold off your gems. However, if you are the type of player that is a whale, obviously, you know, you can spend your gems how you like. Personally, what I'm going to be doing is I'm only doing 2 multi-pulls on part 1 to get my guaranteed thatch. Maybe get something along the way as well, but I want to get my guaranteed thatch. Gives me a little bit more extra points when I'm farming treasure map ace, but I don't think it's worth really, you know, doing that many pulls on the Franky Sugo-Fest. As I said, I'm going to be waiting for the Robin Sugo-Fest. I'll definitely be doing 9 multis on that because that batch is insane. But that's kind of just my overview and my personal advice to you guys about the brand new treasure map Franky Sugo-Fest. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to smack the like button down below. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.